Okay, so let's finish this character out. We're going to put a couple of buttons on here to finish the character out and just kind of prop them onto this little staff here. And we thought this might be a good opportunity to cover for the beginner another ZBrush feature, which will be live Booleans. Now we've gone through a lot of different features. Live Booleans we kind of dipped into very briefly in the first timer section, but now we're going to try to put it to applicable use. So to do that, let's first of all sculpt the initial shape of the button. So what that means is, like we did with the staff here where we brought a cylinder in, let's go ahead and do that again where we hit append and bring this time a sphere 3D in here. Now it's going to be at the bottom of your subtool. It will be probably tucked behind this head. So I'm just going to bring this forward. And just for now, I'm going to go ahead and go into solo mode right here. Additionally, you can go through and turn the subtools off. And I'm just going to hit W to bring up my gizmo and scale this guy to be a little bit flat. Now, from this point on, I'll hit Q and hold down Control and select for stroke my my circle stroke, not my drag rectangle, but my circle stroke, because I kind of want to give you a little bit of a heads up feature that you can modify the stroke by going to center. And what that means is this. You know, this usually, if I draw something out, it comes from the corner. If you can kind of see, and it's sometimes hard to kind of pick the right spot and where this goes. And that's why sometimes using a spacebar trick, which we covered again in the mask section and isolate select, is very helpful. But another way that can be helpful is turning on this center key, where you just go simply straight to the center and drag a circle in that way. So utilizing that, let's go ahead and hit Control D a couple of times to get a couple of subdivisions. In fact, I'll do one more. And you don't normally necessarily have to have an alpha on there, so you can kind of just leave it blank with the alpha turned off. But try to drag in a rectangle, and if you want, you can release Control but still holding left click, and then just simply hold space bar down to kind of get yourself a nice little clean spot right there. Now, from this point on, I'm going to soften the mask. I may even hit Shift D to soften the mask a little bit more. And from this point on, I'll also kind of turn the mask off there. That's holding left, hold left option. And I'm going to go ahead and just simply press this button in, like so. So it's kind of like that. So that's kind of all we're doing. And then from here, we can do a couple of things. One, if you wanted to kind of push up a little bit more, you can do that several ways. I mean, you can just kind of give it a bulge and then just kind of push it back like that if you want. Or you can go with inflate and kind of poof it out that way. You know, that's also an option. There's no such thing as the wrong key, except failure to experiment. So, you know, from here. Now, once you get this kind of situated, what we'll do next is we're going to do a demonstration of making a Boolean. Now a Boolean is what it is broken down is where we use the mesh of one object's mass to subtract away from another mesh's mass. So to give you an idea, I'm going to go ahead and hit append, and I'm going to choose a cylinder 3D. And you can't really see it because we're in solo mode, so let's turn solo mode off. And let's also bring it up a little bit. I'm going to divide this cylinder up, a few times, like so. And then I'm going to go through geometry and hit delete lower. I'm also going to click on here and delete lower this geometry. So now I'm just going to rotate the cylinder. I'm going to really lower it down. And let me give you a demonstration of how this works. What we're going to do is make this a Boolean that's going to cut through this piece here. To do that, we need to enable two things. First of all, we have to turn on live Boolean, which is up here. Additionally, in the renders tab, you can access live Boolean here. And then finally, we have to tell this subtool, this is the one we want to make Boolean under live Boolean mode. So let's go ahead and click that. And this is the cutaway intersection. You'll see the mesh disappear, but don't worry, you can still see it again if you hit the Shift F, which is kind of hard to see, but it's right there. So if we move this through, you'll see it cut right through, like so. So let's go ahead and build off of this concept. And I'm just going to kind of make this a little bit small, break it through, and maybe something like that. Do you guys remember when we did the 4-button or the duplicate mesh? Well, because this is a live Boolean, we can do the same thing here. Then don't forget to draw a mask to clear both off. And like so. Now, right now all this is doing is merely projecting the look of a button. If we turn this off, nothing really happens. So we got to turn this into a Boolean. But to do that, we got to turn everything here off. We got to turn off all your subtools. And that has a lot to do with the fact that if we made a Boolean out of this, this whole mesh would be included as well. So let's go through our subtools, disable the visibility of everything. I know, we got to go through and disable everything. Oh no. It's not so bad once we get through it. Alright, so now we're on just this piece. So now that we have this piece, let's go ahead and turn it into a Boolean, which is very simple. First we select the button, then we go in the subtools to where it says Boolean, and we simply hit Make Boolean Mesh. Now before I hit this, I want you to keep an eye out over here where it is, because the Boolean Mesh becomes its own little tool stored out here. And it's going to go ahead and do a union mesh, and you'll see right there our piece is created. So now if we turn off everything and append this piece into our 15 subtools that we have so far, you'll see it at the very bottom. So now we have our button, and it's got its mesh on there. Cool. So now that we have that, let's go ahead and yeah, you probably guessed it. Let's turn everything on. It was a pain, I know. We'll go through and return everything back on, like so. And all that's left now is just going through and putting this button on here. Now we'll just go ahead and delete these two meshes since we don't really need them anymore. And then don't forget to hit this upside down teardrop to center it on here. So now that we have that, we can kind of put a button on here. I'm going to want to probably have maybe like a little tether or something on this mask. So like a little ring that's similar to our necklace. Nothing really too crazy or anything like that. You know, just something that can kind of bind all these guys together. So what we'll do for that is we'll go through and we'll append, and we'll bring in yet again another cylinder. Bring that guy in here like so. Really make it thin and really stretch it out. And then let's just go ahead and go through our deformer and do a bend arc. Remember, it's the green cone. And once we hit accept, let's go ahead and give it a couple of subdivisions. All right. And let's recenter the pivot point here. This is all just about kind of giving a little bit of giving just a little bit more detail onto it. I'm not happy about the length of that, so let's do the undo bar and bring this guy a little bit more wider. In fact, I probably should just kind of bring it in like this to see what that looks like. Yeah, like that. That's fine by me. So kind of redoing what I did again. Trying to get this looking just right for me. We can. Let's just scale it like that. Go with bend arc. Boom. That's what I want. There we go. And I'll hold left, alt, left click, and just kind of bring it through. You can have it go through a whole bunch of different ways, including one way of just having one of maybe the holes go through here. Whoops. Like so. And then duplicating the mesh. You can kind of see it's just sort of coming together, but it's a little bit of a process. I can't make this go through, I might just have to go through the process of just dealing with one. Which I'm very close to doing. Further down, like so. So I'm going to hit Control W. So these are two different polygroups in case there's anything I want to edit further. But now we got ourselves a little bit of a button going on, a couple of buttons. So it's sort of like his staff. So now that we have that all taken care of, the next lesson we're going to go over is going to be the environment, sort of the whole background, the platform he's going to be on, just some basic simple stuff. And from there we'll talk about rendering. So with that said, stick around and stay tuned.